This chart shows the distribution of mammalian biomass on Earth today. What you're seeing is human beings and our livestock engulfing the screen, leaving a minuscule 4% sliver for all wild mammals combined. We are physically starving out other species through what ecologists call competitive displacement. Because there is a fixed amount of energy flowing through the Earth's ecosystems, every acre of land we clear for our own consumption or for our sprawling herds of livestock is energy redirected away from the rest of the web of life. By systematically devouring the biological productivity of the planet to fuel our own expansion, we have earned a grim title from ecologists. We are acting as the locusts of the known universe. This total physical takeover is the result of how we've trained ourselves to see the world. It is the physical footprint of a specific mental model. For centuries, modern society has operated on the belief of human exceptionalism, the assumption that we sit apart from nature, somehow immune to the basic laws of chemistry and physics that govern every other species. This diagram shows how that manifests in our modern economic models. It portrays human industry as a self-sustaining closed-loop circle, floating completely separate from the Earth. It treats the economy as entirely independent of ecological limits. Because we view the Earth as a warehouse of inanimate parts, our solutions reflect that error. We try to manage the crisis with carbon offsets, assuming human ingenuity can simply substitute one damaged system for another, while the physical planet is crushed by the weight of perpetual growth. Albert Einstein observed that you cannot solve a problem using the exact same level of thinking that created it. Averting collapse means moving beyond this abstract logic and aligning human activity with the actual biophysical laws of the planet. Indigenous scholars use a specific term for an alternative worldview, Kincentric Ecology. It is the understanding that humans and nature share literal, direct ancestry. Under this framework, the environment is not a collection of surroundings or extractable resources. It is our source, our sustenance, and our extended family. Modern evolutionary biology confirms this ancient worldview. We share deep-time DNA connections with the entire community of life, meaning we are literally genetically related to the organisms growing in the forest. How you classify a living thing dictates how you treat it. When a society views a forest as timber, the result is clear-cutting. When a society views that same forest as an elder relative, the result is profound respect. This respect is codified in what is known as the original compact, an ethical practice of taking only what is needed and actively reciprocating to ensure the entire habitat thrives in the long term. Acknowledging the natural world as family automatically creates the behavioral checks and balances that our modern economic models lack. Colonial histories often label early humans as passive hunter-gatherers, claiming that nature is only healthy when completely untouched by humanity. The physical record proves otherwise. Through active, reciprocal land management, indigenous anthropogenic systems, like cultivated kelp forests and intertidal rock walls for clam farming, have sustained massive populations for millennia. These human interventions did not deplete the local ecology. They actively nourished ecosystems, expanding habitats and radically increasing biodiversity. We are not biologically destined to act as parasites on this planet. We have simply forgotten our ancestral instructions on how to cultivate abundance as a keystone species. This shift toward kinship isn't a retreat into the past. It's a move toward a model where our self-interest is tied directly to the health of the ecosystems that support us. We are an embedded part of the ecosphere. Any violence we do to the web of life is eventually and inevitably violence we inflict upon ourselves. This realization brings us to the See No Stranger mandate. It is a challenge to extend radical empathy to the plants, animals, and rivers within your own local bioregion. You must interrogate the origins of your daily survival. Ask yourself where your water flows from, which ecosystems it relies on, and whose hands harvested your food. How does society transform when we finally realize we are living among relatives rather than standing on top of resources? We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore. moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. The Lifeboat Mini Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat Mini Course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written. You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.